Sit with your hands at the heart center. If everybody can mute, I think that'll be great. Mute all. Okay. And focus on your breath. When we close our eyes and look inwards, the first thing we observe is the body is breathing. The whole idea of closing the eyes is taking that journey inwards. The second thing we notice, the heart is beating. So between the two things, breathing is the connecting link between the journey beyond. It's like a bridge that takes us across the river. And the more we are aware of the breath, the easier the journey becomes. It's like a small child holds the hands of his dad, the finger of his dad while he's walking on the road. And then he just doesn't bother about anything else. He just worries about holding that finger, and that's it. Similarly, if we can hold the finger of our breath, that can take us across on the other bank. Sarvepi sukhina santu. Sarve santu niramayaha. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Ma kashyid dukhamapnuyat. Om sahana vavatu. Sahanau bhunaktu. Sahaviryam karvavahai. Tejasvinavadhitamastu. Ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Exhale fully and breathe in through Jai. That means constrict your epiglottis a little bit and do the breathing snoring sound. So exhale again. Breathe in through Jai one more time. Rub your palms together. Okay. So I think we should do a little bit of warm up and some stretching. And we'll do a few Surya Namaskars. Be mindful of not getting injured. My injury is about getting cured, but I think I'm still about 90%. So, and then we will do some postures, and I want to focus on um, some pranayams today. We'll probably learn something new, and then a little bit of dhyan in the end. But in between the Surya Namaskar and the pranayam, we'll probably do some yoganidra. So we've been doing these yoganidras or shavasans for a while, so I think we should continue with that practice. Okay, so let's get up and do a little bit of warm up. Okay. Okay. So let's clasp your hands and stretch them out. Stretch ahead of you so that the shoulders are, your hands and shoulders are in one line, parallel to the ground. And breathe out. And breathe in and breathe out. And breathe in at 45 degrees and breathe out. And again at 45 degrees and breathe out. And breathe in all the way up into Tadasana, Baddha Anguli Tadasana. And breathe out. And go up again. Baddha Anguli Tadasana. And breathe out. And breathe in. And open your hands. Uttana Hastasana. Urdhva Hastasana. Many names here. And look up and breathe out. And go up and put them down. This is called the Prana Mudra. Again, breathe in. Urdhva Hastasana. Breathe out. Look up. Breathe in. And breathe out. You'll start feeling some tingling sensations in your hands. Be mindful of that. It happens when you do the prana mudra. So the pranic energy starts flowing in your body, and all these little chakras in your fingers and your palms, they start activating. So that's what we're doing right now. So again, breathe in, breathe out, Breathe in and breathe out. Very good. Let's jog in our spot. Get warmed up. A lot of injuries happen because we don't warm up enough. And you have to be very, very diligent about not shortcutting this, not shortchanging your body from a warm up. Okay. Now see if you can touch your heels to your butts. Do what you can. Listen to your body. Don't push yourself too much. Watch your breath. Your heart rate is going up. And then skip. Okay. That will wake up the body early in the morning. Stand absolutely still. So we go from one extremity to the other extremity, just like the mind does. Mind doesn't know where to stop in the center. Mind loves to oscillate from one extreme to the other. And that's what we're doing purposefully with the body here. We raise the heartbeat to about 150 per minute. And then we stopped. And we came to the complete standstill. We try to stimulate the body just enough. And when you're reducing in the panting a little bit, blow the air from the center of the lips. As though you're blowing a candle but not extinguishing it. And observe the tingling sensations at the fingertips. Observe the palms. Some biochemical energy, some biomagnetic forces. They're playing at the surface of the skin. Very subtle. And observe the forearms. Observe the palms. And I think the body comes to, as the body comes back to the homeostasis, we'll do some head roll. So I'm going to sit in Vajrasana so that everybody sees me clearly. We'll do head roll. So these are called Brahma mudras. So a Brahma, if you've seen the idol of Brahma, it has faces on all four sides. If you go to any of the Brahma temple, let's say in Siam Reap in Cambodia, there are temples built. Okay, so we'll do Brahma Mudra 1. Take the head all the way to the extreme left and extreme right. And we can jerk it a little bit like this. And now hold it here and see if you can take the eyes to the extreme left. And see if you can look up a little bit. And bring back the eyes to the center. And then go to the right, as far right as you can. And then take your eyes as far right as you can. This will increase the peripheral vision. And see if you can look up and down, look up and down, and come to the extreme left. Eyes to the extreme left, and look up and look down, and look up and look down, look up and look down. Okay, very good. Now, when we typically do the Jalandhar Bandha, we actually put our chin against the chest like this. So in this Brahma Mudra, what we're going to do is you're just going to pull the chin back as though you're, in the Bharatnatyam, you move your head like this. So you pull the head back, but not look down. So just pull the head back and then make a left turn and make a right turn. So you'll notice there's a little bit more friction in the neck. It's a little stiffer than before. So that's Brahma Mudra type 2. And then we'll drop the head, type 3, drop the head as though the chin is touching the chest. And we'll rotate it clockwise. Put your tongue to the roof of your mouth, firmly pressing against the buccal cavity up there. And let the head loose, let it hang down there with its own weight. And imagine the ball socket joint at the spine. And then rotate. You may hear some clicking sound, and that's okay, it's normal. And then go counterclockwise. Okay, very good. From the neck, we're going to move to the shoulders. Take your left hand out, close the fist, and come to Shikhar Mudra. Put it on top of your shoulder and connects your bicep to your earlobes like this. And then make a big circle. Imagine on the horizon out there on the left side, you're making big circles with your elbow. All right, so go back. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So every time you go across the ear, make sure your biceps rubs on your ears. Okay, so that will give you the maximum movement at the back. All right, so then go the opposite direction. Go up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Very good. Let's take the right hand. Shikhar Mudra, close your fist. And then connect your biceps on the right side with your earlobes and go back. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then go the opposite way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Very good. Okay. Now we're done with the shoulders. We're going to come down to the waist area. So spread your feet about 2.5 feet apart, and then come to Michelangelo pose. And then we're going to do some twisting. Okay. So when you twist, your feet don't move at the bottom. Try to see if you can, your waist doesn't want to move either. but it will move because of the momentum of the upper body, and that's okay. Just the body from here up is absolutely loose. From here down, it's firm, firmly grounded. Okay, so, and you exhale at the back. So you turn your hand and fold it to the chest, and the back hand keeps on turning, turning, turning. And when it stops turning, you exhale fully at that point, as though you're blowing your nose, like this, at the back. And then you come, breathe in, and then you exhale at the back, like this. So this is a dynamic thing. So go along with me, whatever you can do, listen to your body. If you have any injuries in your spine, please stop right here. Don't do this, okay? If you have any low back issues, that's not a problem. You have a mid back issue, I don't think it should bother. But basically, do not, if you have any operations done, any surgeries done, don't do it, okay? So here we go. That should be good. Now put your hands on your waist, and we'll do some hula hoop rings. So bring your feet a little bit closer, still broader than your waist. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The other direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Very good. This is good. We move down to your knees. Put your feet together, your knees together, your thighs together, as though we have one leg. And then hold the patella tight. Hold it, and then we're going to make smaller circles. Okay, last time we did big circles. Now we're going to make small circles. How small? They're as the diameter of the circle is as long as your foot. Okay, so make sure the kneecap doesn't go beyond your bigger toe. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So last Sunday we did the anti-rheumatic group. This time we're doing still the same, but a little bit more aggressive. Okay, so now one more exercise for the knee. Come to Utkatasana. So you're basically putting your hands out there and you want to sit, but in Utkatasana, the legs are a little bit apart. Here, you're going to maintain that one leg and you're going to sit down, 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 down. See if you can, how far you can go. Try not to lift your heels at the back and come up. So you exhale as you go down. Exhale, 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 exhale. Keep your knees together. Exhale and come up. Very good. Okay, I think we're done with the entire body. We started from the head all the way till the knees. And the ankles, you can do it this way. You can just do rotations like this. Pull them up and down like that. Go sideways and then put them down. Bring it up. And then do rotations. So your knee is not moving, only your ankle, the foot is moving. Go the other way. And I believe Sushil ji does this exercise, so I kind of liked it and I adopted it. Okay, so here we go. Now we're going to get into Surya Namaskars. If you have low back injuries, you're recovering from it. If you have any heart issues, any chronic illnesses with the blood pressure, please, I would say refrain from doing Surya Namaskar, because there are some poses in Surya Namaskar that can raise your heart rate, can raise your blood pressure. So try to not do it. But since my practice is Surya Namaskar centric, I cannot avoid doing that. Last week we didn't do it, but today we're going to come back to it. And I'll show you how not to hurt your back. Okay, so just be careful. All right, here we go. Stand at the front of your mat about 8 inches away from the front edge. Come to Samastiti. Samastiti is you rest your chin on your index finger. Let your wings drop, completely drop. You're in complete relaxed position, but it is a complete alert position at the same time. Okay? It's the beginning of something, as though you are at the sprint board. You're basically on your mark, get set and go. So you're fully alert, you're fully relaxed, you're fully charged, and you have a complete focus on yourself. And the mind is completely relaxed, but it's ready to go kind of position. So Samastiti, the mind is not swaying from one side to the other. And close your eyes and bring your attention to the soles of your feet and see how your weight is shifting from one part of the sole to the others. And your body is trying to stay in this Samastiti. Hiranmayena patrena satyasya pihitam mukham tatvam pushan pavrunu satya dharmaya drishtaye. Om Ram Mitraya Namaha. So from Samastiti, we are now, Samastiti is like the neutral gear in the car, if you can imagine that way. The car is ready, and the moment you put it in the gear, that's what we're going to do. Now we're going to shift it into a gear. So we're going to slide the palms down to your navel, keep the heels of your palm together. So we are in the gear already. You can already feel the stretch. You can see that the forearms are getting stretched. Your wrists are kind of bending backwards. This is great for carpal tunnels. And we normally don't do this kind of bends, but I highly recommend this. Now at this position, you can also do is see if you can push with your right fingers to the left side. See if you can get a little bit more bend in your left wrist, and your forearm will start feeling the stress. And then shift the pressure on the right side now. Push with your left hand, with your left fingers, tips of the fingers are pushing, and feel that stretch in your wrist. Feel it. And we are engaged in this position. Okay, very good. Now, breathe in. Continue breathing in. And here, connect again with your biceps and the earlobes. Stretch yourself up. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Get a nice stretch here in your back. Don't lift your toes or heels. And then with your waist, push the waist ahead. Push it forward. Push, push, push. So this is the number one, ekam. Now, if you're doing this in the morning, the sun is at the lowest at its point. So throughout the day, we are saying there are 12 prahars. Prahars are time zones. There are 12 into 24 hours, as they say it. And so we are actually changing that. We are actually chasing the sun as it traverses through the sky. So when the sun is at the lowest point on the horizon, we start the exercise. And we are at the highest right now, but the sun is at the lowest. And then we start exhaling. Now, be careful if you have low back injuries here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start bending my knees so that I'm not going to pull my low back again. So I'm bending my knees. You don't have to bend it. I'm talking about only people who have injuries. Normally, you want to be completely in 90-degree position at this point and keep going down. Exhale, exhale, exhale. And in this position, the psoas muscle, I always talk about the psoas muscle. That's the longest muscle in your body. It starts from your abdomen and connects all the way through your pelvis into your thighs. That muscle is known to hold emotional memories, your emotional trauma, all kinds of fears, insecurities, all of that is all held up. Negative emotions are all held up in this muscle. So as you stretch that in Padhastasana, so those who have injuries, you can come up to here and then see if you can stretch your legs back instead of, so this is more of a supported position. I'm still not at full 90 degrees, but this is how much I'm going to be attempting today. So this position stretches your psoas and all those negative emotions, toxins, everything is getting released. And even if they're not, just imagine in your head, that helps because it's mind over matter ultimately. And to be honest, it does happen, whether you believe it or not. You can read a lot about the psoas muscle here. And this is how in India we do the namaskar to the elders. So it's not just about bowing down in front of the elders, but it's also releasing your own insecurities, negative emotions, all of that right here. So I never lose a chance or miss a chance to bow down in front of elders, because I know that this thing will benefit us at a deeper level. Okay, here we go. Now, from here, take your left foot back and get a nice stretch. And then put your left knee down. We are into Ekpada Prasaran or Ashwa Sanchalan. Take your palm completely down. Keep the other palm completely down. Your right knee is in your right armpit and your shin is perpendicular to the mat. And we are in Ashwa Sanchalanasana. Ashwa Sanchalan is a wonderful position. It's engaged. You can feel the stretch in your quads, in your groin area. You can feel the stretch. And with your hips, if you can try to push it a little bit in, you get a deeper stretch into the position. So what I would recommend is come up here a little bit and take a moment, hold your wrist, your knee, and then go down as much as you can. But make sure your shin is perpendicular, all right? And see if you can straighten your back. This is wonderful exercise for your low back. So you can stretch it and then bend forward and rest your chest on your thigh and then put the palms down. Wonderful. Ashwa Sanchalanasana. The focus here is on Agnya Chakra. Agnya Chakra is the command center, is the third eye. This thing activates the pineal gland. So right about at the age of 7 or 8, the pineal gland starts decaying. It starts deteriorating. And this is a revival method. Surya Namaskars are known to revive the Agnya Chakra, the intuition center. And once the pineal gland is activated, it helps tremendously in the spiritual journey. So spend some time here, look straight ahead, do not label anything, just keep an open focus, open mind, and just look out there without any intent in the mind. Absolutely no intention, no planning, no calculations. You're not daydreaming about anything. You're just looking, surrender in this moment, here and now. The surrendering in yoga is nothing but accepting the reality as it is at this moment. Surrender to that. There is resistance in us. Whenever we are put in a situation where we are uncomfortable, the resistance of the mind starts peeking his head up. It starts telling you, get out of here. Starts telling you, I don't like this. I'm already not liking the stretch in my quads. And my body is like complaining. The mind is joining the bandwagon. And observe all that from within. Just observe. And then put your left foot to meet the right foot. Make sure your heels are connected. Again, do what you can. And we are in Dvipada Prasaran, Dandasana. This is definitely an amazingly engaged position for your core muscles, for your tummy. It activates the Manipur chakra right here. It also further activates the Agnya chakra if you look straight ahead. And we're going to put the knees down. Do not move your hands and fold, exhale, fold, exhale, exhale, exhale. And then tuck your head between the hands and see if you can gently rest it on the mat. Wonderful. This is a great stretch for your back. This is a great supported forward bend. It really helps get a nice stretch all the way from your low back, mid back, shoulder blades. Everything is nicely stretched as you relax. It's a version of rabbit pose, Shashankasana. Actually, Shashank actually means the moon. So we remember the moon right here. But as you see up in the sky, you see the full moon, you see the rabbit there. And that's wondering why Shashank is called the rabbit or the moon. There you go. And breathe in and come up. And roll your toes again. Tuck them in. And then gently put your chin, chest, and 8 parts of your body. I call this the Ashtavakrasana, Ashtavakra pose. Ashta means 8. 8 parts of your body are crooked. There are 8 angles in the body. But this is a very, very wonderful position again for the low back. It is really helping. You get this reverse curve in your back. And you breathe in and come up and look up into Sarpasana. This is where we were just now at the lowest of the Surya Namaskars. We were earlier standing. Then we are completely lowest in the earlier position, the Ashtavakrasana. And now the sun is moving as though it is moving towards the west, and the sun is decreasing in its energy while you're basically looking up. The snake rises right here. Okay, and then come to Adho Mukha Svanasana, Sumeru Asana, Bhudharasana, and this is an engaged position, yet very relaxing at the same time. Once you develop more stamina in your shoulders, you'll realize you'll start loving this position. So now, make sure your hands are as wide as the mat. Spread your hands properly. Get a nice grip on the mat and see if you can touch your heel. If the heels don't touch, you can get this extra stretch by putting more pressure on the other, by walking like this, like a moonwalk. And then rise on your toes.
And then push with your hands, rise, push, rise, push, push. And then without changing anything, put your heels down again. Excuse me. Adho Mukha Svanasana. So this is a semi-inversion. Semi-inversion. It's very, very beneficial to your blood flow, to your lymphatic fluids, for your brain, for your eyes. And the goal here should be to touch your forehead down on the mat someday. So keep pushing at it, keep pushing at it. And then gently put your knees down and come back to the 9th position. And relax in Shashankasana right here. Take a few normal breaths. And breathe in and come up. And take your left foot and put it between the hands where it belonged. Make sure your big toe and your middle fingers are aligned, and you're now in Ashwasanchalan back, but with the left foot. Make sure your palm is completely down. If you want to do that same thing again, come up, put your hands here on your knee, and then push yourself in. Get that nice stretch in this area here and in your quads. Push them in. So almost your knees are above your hips. And then bend forward, put your entire palm down, and then see if you can push it a little bit further. And then look straight ahead. We're not trying to see something. We are just looking with an open focus. Just look. And in this looking, you come back to the present moment. Because when the energy cannot go out, it comes upon itself. It implodes. If it cannot explode, it will implode. Because the energy has to keep moving. It cannot be stored. It cannot be withheld. You cannot not let it move. So when you stop it from moving outside, it is going to go inward. And when you come back to the present moment, the energy basically implodes within, and it creates this amazing sense of presence inside. That sense of presence is nothing, is not the mind. That presence is separate from the mind. It is observing the mind. It is giving energy to everything. That is the center of the universe. That presence inside us is the center of the universe, from which the whole universe is born. That is where we are at the point of the Big Bang. That is where it is. It's all inside us. And that center is not separate from me, than you, than anybody else out there. There is only one center, guys. Only one. And this is how we are all one. We are connected. Okay, breathe in and see if you can push your hips. And exhale and come to Samasthiti again. Wonderful. So doing Surya Namaskars is not just a physical exercise. It's at a physiological level, psychological level, psychic level, and at spiritual level. There are 4 different things happening while doing Surya Namaskar. And we need all 4 of them. We need physiological benefits, of course. But more importantly, we need the the spiritual and the psychological benefits. The psychic benefits are like a byproduct of all of this. Om Hreem Ravaye Namaha. Slide your palms down and over. And connect with your biceps. Push your hips. When you stop pushing them, let your head fall back and look at your own thumbs. And breathe in and come up. And bend forward. Bend, 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 bend until you come to 90 degrees. And this is called the Samakonasana. And then come down, put your hands down, and then stretch. Padahastasana. It's also, when you look at your own knees, the goal here is to see if you can touch your forehead to the knees. It's also called Janu Shirasana. And take your right foot back. And just look into the infinity out there. In everything, that same infinity is covered up. Just a matter of seeing it. Just a matter of seeing. And seeing is realization. It's an instant realization right there. And let's shift our focus back to looking without any focus. And just look without labeling anything. And in that looking, the seeing will happen automatically. There is no effort to be done. You just have to make sure the mind doesn't interfere in this process. And how does one ensure the mind doesn't interfere without using the mind? It's like a catch-22. The only way we can do it is to accept the reality as it is of the present moment. The acceptance is not an action. Observation is not an action. You just accept. Here we go. Number 4, look straight ahead for the Agnya Chakra. Look between your hands. And then put your knees down and relax. Feel that stretch in your back. Your entire back is getting stretched right here. And that only happens if you keep your hands where they are. So don't move your hands. Breathe in and come up. And we're going to go into Sashtang Namaskar. Curl your toes. Make sure your heels are touching. And this is the 8 Ashtavakra Asana. 8 parts of the body are crooked. And relax here. See if you can shift the weight more on your chest than on your hands, and you'll start feeling something else. And breathe in and come up into Sarpasan. Beautiful. And let's go to Adho Mukha Svanasana right here. And see if you can rise on your toes. Push with your hands. Push, 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 push. And then put your heels down. And exhale and come back to position 9. Put your knees down. So in Surya Namaskar, one has to remember that once you commit to the positions of the hands, of the knees, and your toes at the back, they essentially don't change throughout all the 12 Surya Namaskars. So once you make that commitment, we stick with it. And so every time you bend down here, the knees should land at the exact same spot where you were before. And breathe in and come up and put your right foot up. And push your hips into the position. And throughout the Surya Namaskar, one has to constantly keep a sort of a reminder inside that we owe everything to the sun. You're basically surrendering to the sun in this position. So everything that you do, all these movements of your hands, of your body, of your attention, of your mind, everything goes back to the sun. And that is the fact. We wouldn't be here without the sun. So we owe every movement of the body, including your daily life activities, everything goes back to the sun. And in that cultivation of that habit, you'll realize that the ego will start diminishing slowly, slowly, slowly. Your sense of your own existence will start of melting away slowly, slowly. Because why? Because you're surrendering everything to the sun. And every movement, even this little movement that I'm doing, I'm using sun's energy. We are solar charged batteries, you know, and those solar charged batteries are operating. We are just basically consuming sun's energy. That's all we do throughout the life in the ultimate sense. Yeah, we do many things, good things, bad things, noble things, teaching yoga, doing yoga, going to work, coming back home, but in every action, we owe that to the sun. We offer that to the sun because it's happening because the sun is giving us the energy through the food we eat, and all that chemical energy converts into an action. And if we keep that awareness throughout the day, it doesn't give us any room to sort of be cocky about anything, you know? What room do we have? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So if we are conscious about that throughout the day, I would say that would become a meditation in itself throughout the day. Okay, so having done that, we'll do one 8-step Surya Namaskar, which I haven't taught. So today we are going to do that. It's kind of difficult. I'm not 100% there, but let's just practice. We are all practicing together anyways. So those who cannot do it, please refrain from doing that. So I'm going to skip a bunch of positions right here, and you will notice. So let's do this. Om Rum Suryaya Namaha. 8 steps. So first few steps are same. Bend backwards and fold yourself from the hips, and then I'm reducing the pressure on my low back by pulling my hand back here. I'm bending the knee a little bit, and I'm going to bend it. I'm going to put my hands down there, get a nice firm grip right here, and see if you can push, jump back straight into the 4th position. And then go down And come to Sashtanga Namaskar. And come to Sarpasana. And then come to Adho Mukha Svanasana. And see if you can fold your knees. Fold them, spread your hands a little bit apart. And here we go. 1, 2, and 3, go. Come to, and so ideally you want to land where you started. Let's do one more time. If you can pick up your hands, I think that'll probably do it. So I don't typically do this, but today I thought of doing it. Let's do it one more time. 1, 2, bend. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. This takes practice and takes a lot of agility, and I actually did that for the low back because some of those positions I can avoid. Okay, very good. Now it's almost 8 o'clock. We're going to do some yoganidra for about 10 minutes. Let's just relax and chill. Let's get your backs on the ground. And this is a complete relaxation. We're going to go on a journey. So let's just sleep down there. Make sure your heart rate wants to come back to homeostasis. So we were talking about the sun. And sun is depleting in its energy. That's a scientific fact. We cannot. Sun has about another 400 million years. That is only 1.5 galactic year. It's going to make another 1.5 round to the center of the Milky Way. So that which begins ends. That's the fact of the field of matter. Anything that is matter comes to existence and then eventually dissolves itself back into the energy. So as the sun's energy is depleting, all that heat that reaches the earth makes the life possible. The plants take all that energy in. The animals eat those plants. We eat those plants, and all that chemical energy then goes into our tummies. And all of that energy then is put back into the action, the chemical, just like the batteries. There's no difference. We are a little bit more evolved chemical batteries. We have senses, we have intelligence coupled with that. But essentially, we are batteries. We can only be charged X number of times. And then eventually, as we grow old, we don't hold as much charge. And the body ultimately goes back to the 5 elements of the universe. And in between, we all live our life. We live through our egos. We think we've achieved something. We think we make money, we have prestige, we have power.
And we conveniently forget that all of that is a dream. Why is it a dream? Because it's not permanent. Dreams are those that appear to be real, but they are not factual. They are not real. They appear to be real. A dream is something that begins and ends. The moment we wake up, we come back to our senses, we gather ourselves, and the dream is gone. That's exactly what happens on the spiritual path. Waking up in the morning is really not waking up. It's still on autopilot. We wake up, we brush, we go to the bathroom, we drink coffee or tea. All of that is just ritualistic. So, to take the doership out of the mind, we are sitting at the bank of a very calm lake in the morning with the beautiful reflection of the Himalayas. And that reflection is pristine. We're consumed. We are in this deep meditation about it. And you're seeing the Mount Kailash, beautiful, in this lake called Mansarovar. It's one of the highest lakes in the world. And you're sitting there just observing the beauty of the early morning, the reflections, the steam coming out from the sun is rising, the water is evaporating, and you start seeing life happening in the sky. You see a bird. The bird is holding a fish in his beak or a stick in his beak. He's building his own nest. He's building his own dreams. Just like we all build our dreams in the life, that bird is taking a stick, a twig, and the twig drops in the water and creates these ripples. And suddenly that beautiful reflection is all contorted, twisted. Something happens and we are all upset about it. Something says something, somebody says something. It's just like dropping that twig in the calm waters of the mind. And we are all upset about the reflection. All that calmness is gone. And we take the matters in our own hands and we jump in the lake. And we try to calm one ripple at a time. All those ripples are coming to the shore. We jump in the water. And we try to calm one ripple at a time. And in the process, we create more ripples. More ripples generated. We've now at the deep end of the pool. And not just the ripples are gone, the reflections are gone, but that pristine water that was clear, you could see the bottom of the lake, is all muddled up now. And we've muddled the water, we've lost the reflection, we are in a complete disarray. We don't know what to do, we're trying to solve the problems in the life. We get all confused. And then we suddenly turn towards spirituality. And the spiritual master who's by the lake, who's watching all this fun, says, just step out of the water. Just step out. Sit on the bank again. And just let the time heal the lake again. It will automatically come back to its own original sense of being. The calm of the mind is achieved again. And we are back into this calmness, the amness. We are settled back into the center, the presence. Everything is back. And this is what the doership does to us in the life. The moment we try to solve, the moment we try to do something, that doer messes things up. Take your left hand up, turn on your left side, and put the right hand by your chest. Open your eyes gently, push with your right hand, and let the head be the last thing that comes up. Don't be in a rush to come up. And give all that action back to the sun. Come to this surrendering to the sun, which is a fact. You cannot deny that. It's a fact. So the path of yoga is not about blind faith. We hold one fact at a time, second fact at a time, third fact at a time, and the yogi keeps on climbing, okay, firmly grounded in the conviction. So that's how the yogi basically moves on, putting his feet on a firm ground that cannot be shaken, okay? So we established today the firm fact that we are solar charged batteries, we are solar driven machines with emotions, with intelligence, with mind, all of that. But all of that is happening because the sun exists out there. And the sun, once you establish that, then we can take it to the next level. Then why is the sun existing? What is the purpose of the sun? If the purpose of the sun is something, then that same purpose is us. So if we can find the purpose of why the sun exists, why those galaxies exist, why those stars exist out there, then yes, we have some purpose in life. Otherwise, we are just spending the sun's energy day by day, every action. Let's put our left heel into the perineum, put some pressure to it, and take the right foot on the thigh, on your left thigh. If you want to do the exact opposite, you can do that. If you want to sit in full Padmasana, you can do that. And once you sit in this position, the heel is putting pressure in the perineum, you can forget about the Mula Bandha because the perineum and the heel are basically doing that for us. Okay, let's get into some pranayams today. We have about 20 minutes. I think that should be good. So we'll start with Kapalabhati. So, so in the previous exercises, we can say Yad Bhava Tad Bhavati. So whatever we think in the mind is getting manifested in the body. Okay, because it's mind over the matter. So Yad Bhavam Tad Bhavati. So if we are cheerful, we are happy, we are this, the body is healthy and fine and it functions very well. So these are the facts. Now we're coming to the mind. From the body, we are shifting our attention to the mind through this subtle exercises with the breath. Now, the bodily doing has sort of come to not a complete end, but it is diminishing. We are shifting the focus onto the mind. So no matter how much we progress on the path of yoga, how much advance we get, Kapalabhati becomes sort of the basis. It sort of is a given. It's a common denominator of all the pranayama. So we also have to constantly remind ourselves with that. We will start with the Kapalabhati and we'll see how we can develop onto that. Okay, so let's start with Kapalabhati. We'll do 108 strokes. We all have done it. So let's just do that. Sit in Chin Mudra like this. Keep your back completely straight. Your neck and back are straight so that the pranic energies can freely flow along the spine. So we are now talking about subtler things. From the gross, we are moving to the subtler aspects of the body. Exhale fully. We'll do abdominal Kapalabhati today with 108 strokes. We'll do 3 rounds of that. And the third round, we will convert that into Amar Kruti, and I'll tell you what to do. Exhale fully. Fully exhale. Pull your tummy in. Breathe in, just half the lungs. And start the abdominal Kapalabhati. Exhale fully again. Hold the breath out. Do not breathe in. Pull your tummy in. Mula Bandha. And release your tummy. Take a deep breath. And exhale through Jai. And be mindful, be aware of the reality here and now. The gross reality is that the body is sitting here, cross-legged, spine is erect, the body is breathing, but we are manipulating the breath. These are all the gross realities of the now. Be aware of that. We are not seeking any kind of miracle or any kind of extrasensory experience of any kind. None of that. The reality is that we are sitting here, we accept that reality as it is, and just be with it. And then there are subtler realities happening by just doing one round of Kapalabhati. You will start noticing some tingling sensations all along your body. because we hyperventilated. That hyperventilation pumps oxygen in the blood. That blood is flowing into the entire body. All these cells are dancing with amazing oxygen intake. That dance, that cosmic dance, is creating some tingling sensations all over your body. There is no miracle here. Just be aware from within, just observe. Sit on the bank of that lake again and just observe what is happening on the surface of the lake. Let's exhale fully. Pull your tummy in. Hold the breath out. And where you're holding the breath, see what's happening on the body. Do we notice that the body is fired up? Every little cell, there is biochemical reaction that is happening there. The moment that oxygen reaches every cell of the body, every cell is excited. And the body goes into this very subtle vibrations. Every cell is vibrating. Every cell is excited. Observe that. Just like we were observing that lake, just observe. Exhale one more time. Breathe in half the lungs and begin. Exhale fully. Pull your tummy in. Put the anus lock. The Uddiyana Bandha, the Mula Bandha. You're not breathing. Observe that the sensations have become a little bit more intense. The cells are now beyond the joy. They're dancing. They're excited. Observe. Take a deep breath. Hold the breath inside. And slowly controlled release the breath with Ujjayi. Observe the fingertips, the palms. Be aware of the touch of the thumb and the index finger. Be aware of the forearms, the thighs, the sole of your feet. Every nook and cranny of your body is dancing with joy. Every little cell, the trillions of cells. That's the power of Kapalabhati. Never stop doing Kapalabhati in your daily practice. Let's do one more time. This time we are doing the Amar Kruti now. So we'll do 108 counts. We'll completely exhale. And we'll do the tri-lock, the Mula Bandha, the Uddiyana Bandha, and the Jalandhar Bandha. Jalandhar Bandha is tuck your chin in. Uddiyana Bandha is pull your tummy in and up into the cavity and get a nice lock into your anus. Not too tight, but just hold it there. Now I know that the perineum is being pushed by the left heel, but we can consciously constrict the muscles. And we'll hold the tri-lock for about 10 counts. And then we'll breathe in through the teeth. Those who have never done this, please follow my instructions. So exhale fully. Hold the breath out. Experience the body is fired up. Those subtle sensations are now flowing through the body. Breathe in half and begin. Exhale fully. Put your wrists on your knees. Pull your tummies in. Release the tummy. Hold the breath in your tummy now. Release your tummy fully. Make sure your Mula Bandha is still there. Exhale. Now we'll do Anulom Vilom Pranayam. So we just did Kapalabhati, we did Sitakari Pranayam. The Sitakari Pranayam is about taking the breath through your teeth. That breath has tremendous effect on your abdomen. It reduces the swelling in your intestines. It helps if there are any ulcers in your tummy. It is supposedly cooling breath, so it basically helps with acidity, any kind of abdominal malfunction is restored, constipation is restored, meaning like it is curing it, intestinal swelling is gone, intestinal tuberculosis, a lot of benefits of the Shitakari pranayama, especially in the summer, in the heat. There's another one which is Shitali pranayama. Let's do that before we go to Anulom Vilom. So the Shitali pranayama is you will have to fold the tongue like a taco. You take the tongue and you fold it like this, and you breathe over the tongue through your anal canal. I mean, sorry, whatever I said. And so that food canal, basically all the energy, all that pranic energy, the pranic breath, the cooling breath is going in your lungs, and it's cooling down there. You release the tummy, you hold it for some time. So I'll teach you how to do that. So you exhale fully, you breathe in. Now, the folding of the tongue is a genetic thing. Some people are able to do it, some people are not able to do it genetically. So don't be bothered if you're not be able to do it. Just breathe, just do this and breathe over the tongue. Okay, so that cooling breath has to go in. Once it's inside, you're going to hold the breath in the chest. You're going to release the tummy. You're going to do the Jalandhar Bandha right here and count 10, and then come up and then gently release through Ujjayi. Okay, Ujjayi is always there. Any kind of breathing out, we are going to do with Ujjayi. Okay. The other breathing I always talk about is leaking the air, and I'll tell you how to do that. That leaking of air doesn't involve your epiglottis. Okay, that's just like you leak the air one bubble at a time, as though the balloon is in the water and it's leaking. It just leaks slowly, slowly. So it's that controlled. So in the pranayam, the success of the pranayam is in the breathing in and breathing out. What I mean by that, the controlled breathing in and the very, very controlled breathing out. We never want to rush into the pranayams, okay? Never. So let's do this one time, okay? It's getting almost 8:29, so we'll do the Shitali pranayam today. So exhale fully. And breathe in using your tongue. Breathe out very controlled. That's how controlled you want to go. If you can even slow it down. You know, a businessman counts his pennies, right? The yogi counts his breath. That's what they say. So you want to be very, very stingy in your breathing. The lesser you breathe in a minute, the better it is. So throughout the day, if you can count, breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 4 and 8. 1 is to 2. That's how you breathe throughout the day. That's conscious breathing. Once you get the mastery over conscious breathing, slowly, slowly, you will start gaining more and more control on the parasympathetic nervous system. There are yogis who can stop their heart. So remember, we started the day today by saying the moment you close your eyes, you're aware of two things. One is your breathing, the second one is your heartbeat. So both of them are controlled by the parasympathetic. We have no control over it. We sleep, the machine keeps on going, the batteries are working, everything is working properly. But the moment you take control on your breathing, you take charge of that breathing as a yogi, slowly, 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 subtler things of the body, the functioning of the mind and body, all your digestive system, all your breathing system, all these apparatus, everything that is controlled by the parasympathetic, we will start gaining control over that slowly, slowly. And it has been done. It's a science. You know, I'm not talking about any miracles that something is going to happen. No, this has been done for centuries. For at least 20,000 years, people have been doing this in India. Okay, people in the yogis in the Himalayas, they go into these caves and, you know, they sit there and do this stuff. We have no idea what else is happening there, right? So the whole science of yoga is very, very old, and it's proven science. It is done. People even now voluntarily leave their body and go out and completely denounce their bodies. Satyanand Saraswati, the guy whom I follow for last 25 years, I've been following him. In 2009, at 2 o'clock in the morning, he sat in his Padmasana against the wall and voluntarily left his body. He went into Samadhi and then never came back, right? So I'm not making this up. This is possible. We just have to be diligently practicing this every day. And I'm not saying there is a goal to be achieving that. We are grahasthi. We are householders. We are not sannyasis. And if somebody wants to be sannyasi, sure, I think they can become one. But I'm just saying that yoga is a pure science of the mind, body, and the presence, the Sakshi inside. That Sakshi is the center of the universe that I talked about earlier on. So I think with that, we should conclude. I know I promise so many things every time and we miss out, right? Because we get carried away, because this time is amazing. You know, we get all consumed by this whole beauty. And, you know, look, the hands are still tingling with the Kapalabhati and the yoga, you know, the pranayams that we did. If you can develop these sensibilities, the subtler changes that happen in the body, we are going to be more and more aware of. The subtler intuitive energies will start rising. The Agnya Chakra will start becoming more and more active. The pineal gland inside, you know, the secretions of the pineal gland, they are called the piyush, the ambrosia. And as we activate that piyusha, you know, that piyusha, you don't want that piyusha to go into your digestive system and go away. We want to keep it in the head so that throughout the day we feel good. So for that, we have to do Sarvangasana after pranayama. So after this session is over, I request you to do inversion of Sarvangasana only. Don't do any other inversions because you don't want the toxic blood to get into the brain. Okay, the Sarvangasana does the chin lock and it doesn't let the blood flow go all into the brain. So they recommend only doing Sarvangasana after the pranayama. So I would invite you to do that after I close out the session. So anyway, let's join our palms and we will express our gratitude to Sage Patanjali, who systematized the science of yoga into the form of a Patanjali Yoga Sutras. Exhale fully. Inhale with Ujjayi. चित्तस्य पदेन वाचाम् मलं शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन योपाकरोत्तं प्रवरं मुनीनां पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि आबाहुपुरुषाकारम् शङ्खचक्रसिधारिणम् सहस्रारशिरसं श्वेतम् प्रणमामि पतञ्जलिम् हरि ओम. Rub your palms together. And look deep into the Chidakash. Thank you all for taking the time. Stay
Thank you,
cool.
Amit.
Thank you. Thank you very much for taking the time today. And
Yeah.
I know we always go over a little bit by 10 minutes, but I hope it's all worth it. So have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next Sunday. All right. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye. Yeah.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
very much, Amit.
Bye.